Hello learners, welcome back to the C Programming lecture series. I Kirti Sharma, working as an assistant professor in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. Today in this lecture series, we will cover the remaining topic that we were discussing in the last lecture. So I'm just doing continue over here the discussion on the topic unformatted input output functions. So we have already covered the formatted input output functions. In this lecture we will cover unformatted input output functions. So in continuation, just start with we are starting with the unformatted input outputs. Let's start. So C language provide the console input output functions, as we know, to read the input from the keyboard that is provided by the user in order to access the console, and second thing, to display the output to the user at the console screen. So for these two purposes we have two types of the functions: formatted input output function and unformatted input output function. So console input output functions divided into two category. First category, formatted input output functions, that we have already covered with scanf function for input and printf function for output. Along with it, we also discussed about scanf and sprintf. Scanf and sprintf functions are used for the string purpose, in order to take the input as a string and display the output as a string, right? Next we have unformatted input output function. So it is already discussed. So next is unformatted. In unformatted console input output functions, these functions are used to read the single input from the user at console, and it also allows us to display the value in the output to the user at the console. So one by one it will work. It will not for the multi. I have mentioned here, read a single input here, right? So in order to read a single input, it is used. So these are the input functions. First we are discussing here like get.ch, get.che, get.char, right? So what is the functionality of these functions? Like get.ch function, I hope you are aware about it. So now in this lecture you will get the clarity then why we are using get.ch. What is the main purpose to use the get.ch actually? It reads a single character, whatever the user will press on the keyboard, right? At the console screen, without echoing it. So it will return back to the, like most probably it will read the single character. So its main functionality is to read a single character, whatever it can be. Okay, but get.che, there is a difference between get.ch and get.che. Here ch stands for char is for character data type, so to print a character. So it will read a single character, and get.che also read a single character from user, but it will echo. It will give you a sound, beep sound or whatever. It will echo, give you echo after pressing the key, right? So next is get.char, get.char. It also reads a character from the user at the console screen and also echoing it, like it will produce a echo or any sound, but needs an enter key to be pressed at the end. Whatever the key you will press, but at the end you have to press the enter key. So this is a difference between all these three uh, unformatted input functions. So I hope it is clear. Here in get.ch, a single character will read, that is pressed by any key that is pressed by the user. In get.ch, it also read a single character, but it will echo some sound. In get.ch, there will not be any sound after pressing the key. Here get.chr, it will also read a single character that is entered by a user, and also echo will be there, but there is a need at the last to enter, to press the enter key. So difference between all three functions. Next we have gets, puts, putch and putchar. Gets also read a single string. Here it will read a string, because this get, after get, s is there. S stands for string. So ch, when we were writing the ch is for char, character, single alphabet. If I have mentioned here s is for string. So string is a collection of characters itself. So gets is used to read a single string entered by the user at the console screen. Okay, so get, wherever the get is as a prefix, it is used as a read purpose. If we are using here put, put S for string, to display a string. For the output functions, these three, to display a string on the console screen. And put ch stands for char, put is for display output, that means display a single character value at the console screen. But if you written here char, what it mean, it will also display single character value at the console screen. So what it's mean, we have used like put put chr. So all these functions are used to display, for the output purpose, to display the at the console screen whatever will be the output. So main question that should come to in your mind, why the functions are called unformatted console input output functions. While calling any unformatted console input output functions, we don't have to use any format specifier in them. What about the format specifier like %d, %c? No need to use those things while you while using the unformatted. But same thing, when you are using the formatted input output functions, there is mandatory to use the format specifier. That's why they are called as formatted. Here it is called unformatted. Why? Because there is no any need to specify the format specifiers, right? So with the unformatted input output functions, okay, console input output functions, so there is no need to specify to use the format specifiers. While you are reading or displaying the value, for the both of the things, no need to write the format specifiers. That's why it's called as unformatted console input output functions. Next we have some example, like here like getch function is used here. So these input values could be any primitive data type or an array type here, right? Getche, getchr, getc. I hope we have already discussed these things. Now we are discussing only for the input functions. So unformatted console input functions are they, that we have already discussed, right? So next we have some example to get the clarity about all these three functions, input functions, unformatted console input functions. What are those actually? Why the functions are called unformatted console input functions? As saying, here we are not using the format specifiers. That's why we are saying it unformatted console input output functions, right? So here we are taking an example here to distinguish getch, getch and getchr. Still write the directories, start the main function. Ch is the variable that we are declaring here. The printf is printing the text, whatever is written in the double quotes, it will print as it is. Running getch, enter a character. So it will print this message as it is on the console screen. So next, ch is the variable that we have taken. Getch we have written here, right? Whatever is the getch, it will provide it store into the ch, because we know it will return a character itself. So getch is a function that we know very well. It will does not echo any echo. It will not like produce any echo while pressing any character on the screen. So printf/n, this is the escape sequence. It will show you what it will point to the next line wherever it will be on the console screen. Next it will print the character value you have just entered. %c, %c is for character data type, so format specifier. With the printf is what? Printf is the format input format console in formatted console input output function. So that's why it's important to use the format specifier over here. So ch value will display here whatever you have entered. So what is the ch value that you have entered from get with the help of getch? You don't like you have not used your scanf to give the value as input for the ch. You have used the getch. So it will print the value whatever you will press as a key on your keyboard. In next line it will print running getch and enter a character. So it will print here whatever is the store in the getch, it will come here in the ch variable, and it will print character value you have just entered. It will show you that value, right? Again in next line it will show the message running a getchar, enter a character. So again we are going to enter like any value whatever is produced from here with the help of by like whatever the user will press as a key. It will store into the ch, and it will come here, but after that you have to press the enter. That is the difference here in the get chr, right? So after all, at last it will return 0. That means successful execution. So what could be the output is running get ch, enter a character, then whatever you will print after that, next line will print what the character value you have just entered is a, right? Let's assume user has pressed the A, running get che, enter a character. So now this onwards, like user entered the G button, G key on the keyboard. It will show you the character value you have entered, just entered G. Running a get char, enter a character. After entering the character, user need to press the enter button, enter key. Here, no need to press the enter key in previous two. Here, it is a need to press the enter key in order to execute the next statement. So that is the different thing about getchar. So it will be the output. It seems to be like same, but it's different actually. Here, it is not showing anything during the get.ch. User pressing any key, but it is not showing here. It is showing here as a output here only. If you are storing the value of getch into a variable, then after you are able to see this. But in getch, you are able to see here what the user is pressing, what key is user pressing, and it will echo a sound and it will print again. Then that is the difference in between both. Then again in getchr and getch there is a difference. Here it will show you a beep sound only, but here if you will put any alphabet or any char here, then there is a need to press the enter key, otherwise it will not come to here in order to print the next line or execute the next statement. So it is the difference between all these three. Next we have the program analysis. I hope I have already told you the same things, so you can get the better clarity over this particular content. Like pressing key and a ch will, like it does not echo any sound on the screen, then it will echo some sound on the screen, it will echo some sound on the screen, as well as it will wait for the enter key to be pressed to store the character. So if you will not to press an enter key, then it will not store the value whatever you have written in the variable. So it was all about the uh, all these three functions. So gets function is a little bit different because it is working on the string. So it is used to read a string. Before three, whatever we have discussed, like three functions, those were are working on the character. This is working for the string. So this is also unformatted console input function, that is gets. So how to use the gets? Here is an example to get the clarity over here. So here this is the array actually. We will discuss the array later because string is depends on the array. We will also discuss the string concepts in the next upcoming lectures after array. So it's a array for now. I'm just telling you country is a array variable. This is showing the size of the array, how many characters you can store in that particular variable. So collection of characters is a string itself, that is denoted by array here. Okay, so this is a message that will print as it is. Enter a country you want to visit. So in gets you are providing here country. Country is the variable name here. With the help of single variable name, you can enter a set of characters by using the gets, and it will become a string. It will be in the form of string. Why? Because get is used for input, s is for string. So to give the input as a string, we need the gets function actually, and it will print here as it is whatever you have printed here, like inserted here as an input in the country variable. It will show here because percentage s we have used here, and percentage s is used for the string function. That is the format specifier used for the strings. Okay, and after that it will return 0. That will show you the successful execution of the program. Then it will be the output of that function. Enter a country you want to visit, that is UK, United Kingdom. The output will be as like this. Okay, so it was all about the program that we have discussed. So this is program analysis is like you see in an example, like multi-word string is there, name of the country you are entering over here with the space, lots of letters are there in here. So we could not achieve using the scanf. Scanf is not able to like to provide this thing in that much easy manner. That's why input scanf is also used for the input, but there is a difference. Like scanf cannot do this task is like in better way. or easily, that is done by the gets function. So that's why it's very interesting to know about the gets function in order to provide the input as a string data type. So I hope it is clear. It does not take any format specifier, and the scanf takes format specifiers, so it will be little bit difficult to execute with the help of scanf. That's why we have used the gets. Special functionality is given in the library of the C programming, like gets, puts, get char, get che. So we can use these functions directly for the character and the string data types. Okay. So next we have unformatted output functions. Up to now we have discussed the unformatted input functions. Now we have unformatted output functions. There are three unformatted output functions here: puts, putche, and putchr. Of course, we are displaying here, we are providing the output here. That's why it's called as the, these functions are called as the output functions, right? So put stands for display. In order to show the output, in order to display the output, what kind of output? String. What it means? Display a single string's value at the console screen. Putch is used to display the single character value on the console screen. PutChr also do the same thing, but there is a difference between PutChr and PutCh. What it is, there is a need to press like whatever you are printing. After that, if you want to come back, like there is a need of the enter key. So both of these, like all three things are different. Are you able to getting this point? So we will take an example to get the better clarity about it. Here this is an example how to use the puts to display the content of the string. Of course, SS stands for string here. Put is to display as output of a string. So here same thing we are taking here array, that is a collection of elements. So what type of element? Collection of alphabets, letters, or you can say character data types. So collection of the characters. So it will print as it is what country want to you visit. So GATS will provide you the input and it will show you the output over here. That will be the functionality of the puts here. Okay. So here we have used the puts here. In the previous example, we used here printf, because here we are trying to get the clarity about gets only. Now we are using the gets and puts, like printf here, gets and puts simultaneously. I hope it is clear. Like gets for the input string, puts for the output string. It making our task much easier, because with the scanf and printf we have to use the format specifiers. Here there is no any need to use the format specifiers in order to show the input as a string and in order to display the output as a string. Okay. So next we have, like same thing we have just mentioned, I have just mentioned over here, like what is the purpose to use the puts and gets, that I have already told you. Next is an example to use the putch and putchr, right? So putch, here we have entered a alphabet to the variable ch. Okay, and ch is a variable of int data type over here, right? So no need to confuse about it. I hope it is wrong actually. There should be char actually. Yes, there should be char. By mistakenly it is written, because we are entering the character value here, an alphabet, and the declaration is a little bit wrong. So you can do update it yourself. I hope you are getting these things. So here this message will print as it is, printed using putch. Putch will print that particular alphabet, whatever is there in the ch. It will print a, and in the next line it will come over here, another character value printed using putch. It will show you putch b over here, right? Capital B. So we will see what will be the output with respect to it. Next we put chr, ch value it print here, another character value entered, printed using the put chr. They have entered two values, like ch, what is stored in the ch variable, what is b here, right? So here what will be the output? The character value printed using put ch, it will show ch value a as it is. But another character value printed using put ch, it will show you b as the answer. Like here, if you are trying to if you are trying to print here b, it will show you b as it is, right? Another character value printed using put ch. You have used here now. So this put ch is this put ch If you are providing the variable, it will show you the value of that variable. If you are directly writing any alphabet or any character, it will print that also. So here we are trying to print that particular alphabet directly without taking any variable. Here in putchr, if you are trying to print here ch value, it will show you the value of the ch whatever it is originally. Now if you will use a d as a putchr, like you have to print the alphabet directly without any variable help, then you can do it. Okay, so that is we can call putch and putchr function to display a character passing a char variable or by passing a character value directly to it. So that is a specialty of the putchr and putch functions. So these three functions are used for to display the output on the console screen that user wants as an output of the function whatever his user is trying to execute. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all. It was all about the unformatted input output functions, and we have already covered the formatted input output functions also in the previous lecture. So up to now, third unit, according to your syllabus, third unit is completed. So from next lecture onwards, we will start with the fourth unit, and topic will be array. So we will discuss the array topic in the next lecture. So stay tuned with the lecture series of the C programming. Thank you. Have a nice day.